Hi, my name is Tasha. I'm a former high school biology teacher, and today I'm going to walk you through some practice problems for the Praxis exam, Middle School Life Sciences 5146. Okay, let's get started. Okay, let's talk about problem one. Problem one, in which part of the animal cell does aerobic respiration take place? Okay, so there's some key words here. We're going to look at the Golgi apparatus. So what the Golgi apparatus does is it basically sorts and packages proteins to go either out of the cell or within the cell. So that doesn't have anything to do with aerobic respiration. Mitochondria is your ATP powerhouse. The lysosomes aid in digestion. So anything that needs to get dissolved in the cell is a lysosome. And the nucleus contains the DNA. So let's look at the mitochondria. We're taking glucose, which is C6H12O6, plus oxygen, which is aerobic, and changing it into carbon dioxide, water, and ATP. So this is where you're going to have aerobic respiration. That is what that chemical formula is. So it's going to be in B, the mitochondria. Problem two, which element is found in proteins but not in carbohydrates? So let's look at what is found in proteins, carbs, and lipids. So if you're ever asked about any of those, your three main chemicals or elements that are going to be found in both proteins, lipids, and carbs are going to be carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Those are found in the three of them. If we're looking at the one that is not found in carbohydrates, that's going to be C, nitrogen, is not found in carbohydrates. So our answer is C. Okay, problem three. Being able to roll your tongue is a dominant trait in humans. So that's a dominant trait. That's a keyword there in humans compared to not being able to roll your tongue. If two parents are heterozygous, so that's another keyword for the trait, had a baby, what percentage of the babies will not be able to roll their tongues? So let's look at three genotypes for that. So if you have big T, we'll designate T as tongue rolling. So if you're big T, you can either be big T, big T, little t, or little t, little t. So those two, big T, and big T, little t, are going to be tongue rollers. So either you're the homozygous dominant or the heterozygote. Little t, the homozygous recessive, these people will not be able to roll their tongues. Our parents are big T, little t, they're the heterozygous. So let's put them into a Punnett square and see what the results are. So let's pull down big T, move over big T, little t, big T, little t, and then finally in our last box we have little t, little t. So there's only one of those boxes that will be little t, little t. Those are our possibilities. So 1 out of 4, that is 25% of the babies that these people have will not be able to roll their tongues. So the answer is C. Okay, last question, problem 4. Before the Grand Canyon formed in Arizona, okay, so we have a geographical barrier, a Grand Canyon, there was a single species of squirrel that inhabited this region. Today there are 2 species of squirrel, one that lives in the North Rim, the other at the South Rim. What is this an example of? So they have the 4 different types of speciation here. So let's talk about B and C actually first. So sympatric speciation, this is going to be behavioral speciation. Allopatric speciation, this is going to be geographic speciation. So when you're looking at those two, those are the big differences between the two. Parapatric speciation is basically they're going to be in the same region but have speciation. So conditions arise and that you have speciation. So that's a specific example of that. Peripatric speciation is a type of allopatric speciation, but it's with a very small population, separates from the main group. So if we're looking at this Grand Canyon example, they didn't say that those are smaller populations. So our best answer is going to be that it's allopatric speciation, answer C. I hope this was helpful. If you're looking for more ways to study, head over to study.com to check out our other videos and for more Praxis exam prep. As a study.com member, you get access to hundreds of practice problems like the ones I just walked you through, as well as some targeted instruction for topics you still might be struggling with, along with some test-taking strategies to help you maximize your score on test day. Finally, we want to hear from you. Please like and subscribe if today's video was helpful. Also, in the comments down below, please let us know if there's other topics that you'd like us to talk about. Good luck and happy studying!